Do you remember Pinball FX3? Yeah, you should, for it is just about the best pinball game I've ever played and completely free to start on your Nintendo Switch. Well, as it turns out, developer Zen Studios, who sent me over this review copy for you guys to check out, didn't stop there, as they managed to develop a very interesting action RPG tower defense hybrid. And I've battled my way just about 20 hours through the various campaign modes, and I am psyched to talk about it. So, presenting you with Castlestorm, let's go!
Long, long ago, a century or more, two strong, stubborn kingdoms waged terrible war. Knights drew long swords, barbarians the axe. The earth shook in concert with fearsome attacks.
The game features hours upon hours of fun-filled action-packed storylines with 4 main campaigns, the last 2 of which get unlocked after progressing through the first half, and the story itself is not half bad. It's a comical take on a somewhat fantastical medieval Europe, bringing together Vikings, crusaders and priests, dragons, trolls, dwarves, troubadours, knights, battle bears and turkeys. Yes, turkeys. The storylines blend together across the 4 campaigns, though the main protagonists are unique to each. While battling your way through them, you unlock more and more features for you to employ in battle, including a plethora of units, some specializing in aerial assault, while others help take down the opposing castle. Some are battle-hardened warriors who can steal the enemy's flag, and others heal your units back to health. There's a good dose of magic spells and a varied assortment of weapons to feed to your ballista, being your main weapon in this game. But where Castlestorm sets itself apart from many tower defense games is the ability to throw yourself into the mix melee style. The main hero of your campaign can be put into action for some serious damage by using your melee and long-range weapons. As always, all abilities in these games have a cooldown timer, and it is up to you to pick your moment when to amp up the action. Of course, there's the option to upgrade the strength or damage, reduce the cooldown timers for all your units, spells, weapons and heroes at the cost of in-game currency, which you earn by raking up your victories. The side quests in this game, and there are many of them, are a good way to earn some extra cash. All 4 factions featured in the campaigns are balanced out fairly evenly. It really puts to display the creativity of this studio as well as the talent to create a coherent, fun and exciting game. Prior to a battle, you will have the option to select your castle, which greatly influences the flow of battle as your layout of the various rooms differs, and so do the units that can be employed. The layout of your castle can be customized, something I haven't played with all that much yet, but it is great to see that option being included. For example, you might want to have the rooms for your stronger units somewhere towards the back of your castle so that they are better protected from harm, courtesy of your enemy. The graphical department pulled through all the way with fabulous cutscenes, fully voice acted with surprisingly fitting characters. The menus are all up to snuff and the presentation in-game looks fantastic. The game runs a smooth 60 frames per second, whether in docked or handheld mode, giving you, the player, the best possible experience at home or on the go. The multiplayer mode works flawlessly, although the action gets a little too much playing in tabletop mode, having to share the screen with that much detail. The hero survival is a nice gameplay mode, in which you face wave upon wave of enemies who are trying to capture the flag, and after each wave you are nursed back to full health. I do think this mode is a tad too easy, especially after clearing the campaign, but it can be a fun challenge sitting around with friends for bragging rights. The music that runs in the background is enticing and adds flavor to the already outstanding game. During battles, the music does what it needs to do by keeping a lower profile and blending in the background while letting the well-chosen sound effects run their course. In the cutscenes, the music dominates at times, setting the tone for the action as the storylines unfold. And once the campaign has reached its action-packed end, we are graced by some of the loveliest poems featured in video games, voiced by a befitting voice.
Her valor they'd seen, and Viking land hailed its first warrior queen.
to see each campaign start off and end in this fashion is worth picking it up for sheer cinematics alone. Castlestorm can be played either by using standard button input or by going for a motion-controlled experience combined with the Switch's touchscreen. But the game really shines when combining both. As someone who plays mostly on the go, I developed a personal playstyle in which I tend to use the touchscreen for precision shots, headshots and the like, and button inputs to quickly flip through the various battle mechanics and select them. As such, Castlestorm manages to utilize some of the best features the Nintendo Switch has to offer, including ample use of the HD rumble for some serious haptic feedback. In terms of sheer controls, I find it one of the best games currently on the Nintendo Switch, and I can't applaud Zen Studios enough for developing it the way they have done. Castlestorm has been released on pretty much every console, including smartphones, but the Nintendo Switch experience truly is unique, and you get the definitive edition including all of its additional content. And I am really impressed by Zen Studios for being able to pack in so much content with so much flair in such a little game. I have sunk in many more hours than I dreamed possible, and for mere $15 this game can be yours. So get to action, but not before hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Go to the eShop, enjoy Castlestorm, and I'll see you next time.
Forever will peace reign in this land.